Hey fellas, welcome back to another video. It's the other guy. Average women don't want average men, right? First off, I would like to go off by saying, like whoever you like. I'm not going to tell you who to like and who you're not supposed to like. There's that. Secondly, I think a lot of people underestimate the power of sex. I just have to go ahead and put those disclaimers out there, right? Because a lot of men would say this is delusion, and I say this is much deeper than that. I think it's a much deeper issue than just delusion. But let me go ahead by start by telling you a story, right? On how average women dislike average men, right? So let's just put you in a college, or let's just say, right? And you live at dorm, and at night you just went downstairs at 9:30 to get something to eat, right? You come back up at 10, right? And you're on the way, to your room, right? Your dormitory, you see Jacob, right? Jacob is a 6'2", 6'3". He's the starting quarterback of your football team, right? And he's waiting by a door. You don't know whose door it is. You don't really care, right? And he's waiting by that door, standing by that door. As you get closer, the door opens, right? The door opens and you see Patricia from class. You know, the one that always raises her hand. She's very attentive in class. She does her work, you know. She got one of the highest test scores in class. And you never really paid attention much to Patricia in class, you know. She was decent. She's average looking. She's no bombshell or nothing like that. But Jacob's by her door. Patricia greets him with a big ass smile. You feel me? Yeah, race face slash acne Patricia greets him with a big ass smile. And he comes in, Jacob goes in, and you feel me? The door closes behind him. That's all she wrote. So I want to talk about how they got there in that scenario. See, what we don't know, and what I'm here to give you perspective on, is both of them had a build up leading up to that point. See, Jacob ran through a couple options, right? Options A, B, and C, right? And D. See, options A, right? Option A for him, the 9 out of 10 that attended his school, right? That decided she was acting up that night, right? So he ran to option B, right? Also 9 out of 10, but a good old distance, a good drive away. You feel me? Option B, though, she was bitching out. And option C, a girl that don't go to school at all, that he met at a club, right? He thought she was bad as hell, right? She just wanted to cuddle that night. So Jacob goes to option D, right? And by then, Jacob's pent up. Here you have a 6'3" dominant guy that normally gets his way, right? That had to cycle through his rotation tonight, right? And for that moment, he wants some, and he's gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? So he goes to option D, which is Patricia. See, Patricia also had a buildup going there as well, but it might not be the same buildup what you might think it is, right? See, Patricia been building up every day of her life. Every woman, no matter how you rank them across the scale, has a dream guy or a dream situation, right? And believe it or not, even average women encounter dreams from time to time. Those dream guys, right? And you'd be surprised that they deal with those dream guys at the highest level. Let me explain. If she not physically doing it, she's reading about it. And if she's reading about it, she's pictured this dream guy from time to time and what she would do to this dream guy. In this case, Jacob, 6'3", starting quarterback, is her dream guy. And she would be willing to do whatever it is to keep the dream alive, right? She reads about being dominated, right? And Jacob, right, is thinking about dominating. So we have polarity match in heaven in that given case scenario. So what goes down behind closed doors, Patricia getting fucked is an understatement. You get what I'm saying? Unspeakable things. We talk about the friend zone as guys all the time, right? And it's when a woman extracts what she could get from you without giving that man any sexual attention, right? Any sexual satisfaction whatsoever. So she's extracting your attention, your time. You spent probably 2.5 hours on the phone each night. And then you got to one night where she really wanted your help and you felt like this is your day. This is finally your day to break through that friendship and have it become something more. But you found out she needed help on getting advice for another guy. See, the woman friend zone works a little different than that. See, while Jacob gets to rant about how he had to run through his rotation that night, you feel me? He's doing that with his dick in Patricia's mouth. That's the difference. The thing with Jacob, though, Jacob knows he has to only see her at night or in a particular night. Because unlike pre-selection, Jacob knows about deselection. Where woman would look in and look at Jacob with a beautiful woman and say, man, I want me a piece of that too. He's treating her so well. She's so beautiful, right? And woman will only hope. See, Jacob knows the other end of it. Jacob knows, hey, if I'm seen with Patricia, woman will look at me sideways. The woman that, the potential options that I might have will look at me as like, well, shit, he could have did better than that. Well, he ain't no worth getting anyway. And then Jacob gonna be looking outwards. So Jacob decides, hey, only on this particular night and only as my last resort will I resort on this option. You get what I'm saying? Because of this, Patricia suffers. But not in the areas where you think she does. She suffers as far as what she should expect from a relationship. See, guys, what I want to tell you is this is not a delusion. This is not a delusion. And you heavily underrate sex. This is a distortion, right? Because the things that they were doing on that particular night, you feel me? 10 p.m. and beyond, right? Is the highest level of intimacy on both ends. You get what I'm saying? So when she's been, you feel me, enjoying the highest levels of intimacy with somebody she views as a 10 out of 10, what is your 5 out of 10 ass going to do for her? But we'll get to that, right? Because a lot of men love to talk about delusion. Women aren't daydreaming of this man or this dream man, right? That's never going to come. And they've only daydreamed about him. No, woman has physically experienced that man, right? Secondly, guys, the guys you perceive as alpha fuck all across the board. Yes, they've fucked all across the board. Anywhere where there's considered territory, that man would grab. So, let's get back to the story. Patricia sees Jacob through school, and Jacob's with that 9 that he didn't get to spend time with the other day, right? Patricia was waiting on her moment to say hi, but she's intimidated by that 9, and Jacob was going to pretend like he didn't know her anyway. You get what I'm saying? So Patricia realizes Jacob is not a relationship option. So she hops online. She hops on a dating app, right? And she gets 80 matches, right? She checks all those 80 matches and sees that absolutely none of these guys match up to Jacob. These guys are average. So she rants on TikTok talking about how her options are cooked, how they're chopped, on how they aren't attractive to what she's normally used to dealing with. That's how this happens, guys. That's why average women don't like average men. You get what I'm saying? It's because men that are above average done took the spoils and left you nothing. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all take it easy.